Well, spring break is here, which is typically one of the busier times to travel. But just like everything else over the past year or so, it looks a bit different.
Our Mike Avery spoke to West Michigan Airport officials and officials.
It's
a Friday, wow.
It is a
officials
Friday.
and travelers about the current travel outlook.
It's getting busier here at the Gerald R. Ford International Airport because it's spring break season. In fact, the airport calls it their Super Bowl. Well, after we talk to travelers, we get the sense that the pandemic fatigue is real.
We're just excited to be able to get outside and be mask-free as much as possible.
We're just going down to Punta Gorda, do a little fishing, just spend some time on the beach.
It's your first time being out of Michigan since all this started?
No, we go out as much as we can.
Most of the travelers leaving Grand Rapids on this day for spring break, vacation, a little R&R, don't seem to be worried or overly concerned with the ongoing pandemic.
Well, we're sensitive to being cautious.
And so is the Gerald R. Ford International Airport, preparing for an influx of travelers.
While it's not quite 2019, it's going to feel a lot like it in the building. We're currently expecting anywhere between 50 to 55,000 folks to come through the doors in that first couple of weeks of April. It's that traditional spring break period for us, so the building's going to be pretty busy.
We still are in the midst of a pandemic. What are you doing to kind of make sure that you said 50 to 55,000 people coming through, keeping them safe as best you can?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really been a process since the beginning of the pandemic for us in ensuring that we have a facility that is safe and healthy for our guests to come through.
Right now, the Ford Airport says 85% of airplanes are already full, which is about 15% less than 2 years ago. Down at the Battle Creek and Kalamazoo Airport and in Muskegon, officials tell us they're seeing more people flying compared to last year, but not as good as 2019, and say people are ready to get out of the state and explore. It's exactly why airports like Ford International will continue to enforce the usual protocols with their customers when dealing with the coronavirus.
So we ask our guests when they come into the Ford Airport, as soon as they come through the doors, put the mask on. It's the most basic level of thing that we can do to ensure we protect everybody.
The CDC is recommending that you don't travel at all right now. They say it can increase your chances of getting and spreading COVID-19. The airport says they understand that, but still need to do their part.
And it is interesting, obviously, if you look at the CDC or some of the others, they still recommend just stay home. Obviously, a lot of folks just are heading out despite that. Do you fear any issues when people come through?
Travel is a deeply personal thing right now. We're open not just for people, but also for cargo. That critical connection into our community, delivering goods and supplies, the PPE, we've seen that come through here, as well as vaccines. Vaccines being shipped out of the Pfizer plant just to the south of here, all over the world, come out of West Michigan, and the Ford Airport's open for that as well. So it's not just people and bags going on vacation, it's that critical infrastructure. We're here to welcome all of that.
Something else for the travelers to keep in mind, the airport has actually turned this economy lot into a COVID-19 testing site. 30 minutes and you'll have your results. In Grand Rapids, Mike Avery, Fox 17 News.